Listen, if y'all don't share this one and run it up to 50K in like 7 days, then y'all ain't really trying to see BG go to the next level. You know how a lot of people be talking about the SEC filings, fake, this and that. This right here, I'm gonna let you use your own discernment and tell you if this is official or not. But this is some information, and shout out to it's a brother on my team by the name of Kareem. He been tuned in like y'all. He decided to get enrolled, got started, locked in, and he did his own due diligence, did his own digging. And I got to give credit where credit is due. He was the one that said, hey, man, I did this. I looked into this. I dug deeper. I looked at what people weren't looking into. What I said, you got to send me that. He sent me the details. I did my own due diligence. And I'm like, I got to share this with the people. So this represents day 72. But I had to share this with you. But this is one of those shareables. This is one of the ones that you share with people and just let them decide. Listen, like I always say, only time will tell. But I think this plays a significant role in the eyes of the members as well as the naysayers. That's why I said this is a shareable. So let's get into it. I'm not even going to really introduce it. Just understand it's dealing with the SEC filings and BG Wealth sharing. Let's dive in. All right, so let's take it from the top. So here's the document that a lot of people are saying is not real, it's fake, they're not registered, whatever the case may be. And you see U.S. Securities Exchange Commission, BG Wealth Sharing, LTD, has the company address, has the verbiage according to the U.S. federal law, number 1580B1 is subsequent versions. You see all of the lingo. It also says broker/investment advisor. Then it has the logo and the date, August 15, 2025, and the SEC number. What I want you to pay attention to is the CRD number in the upper right-hand corner. CRD 338316. 338316. So I want to make sure that's clear. If you can see that, like this video right now. Now, where I want to go is where you view to see and look up these numbers to see if these companies have been listed or filed under the US SEC, and if so, how they've been filed. Let's keep going. So here's the site, adviserinfo.sec.gov, and this is where you want to go to look up, it could be individuals or entities that, are listed, as a broker or some type of investment advisor. Right here it says, welcome to the Investment Advisor Public Disclosure website. Now, you see this is a .gov website, .gov. And if you look, you'll see the options to put in information, individual name / CRD number, firm name, CRD number, you see all of those options. So what many people do is this, and we could just put it in. So it was 338316, 338316, and let's hit search. No match has been found for the information you provided. They'll screenshot that and say that BG Wealth Sharing is not registered. So let me do it differently. It said BG Wealth Sharing LTD. LTD, and then the number, firm, you can put the CRD there, 338316. Let's do it again. Make sure I did it correctly. Okay, BG Wealth Sharing LTD. But this is what a lot of them fail to realize. If you look right there at the top, it says individual and it says firm. Individual and firm. Do you think BG Wealth Sharing will be listed as an individual or a firm? I'm pretty sure it's not an individual. But they'll look at this and say, hey, no match has been found. The website does not contain information on investment advisors or brokers that are not currently registered, and all of the things. And they'll say it's fake, it's not registered. They didn't, go through the proper filings, etc. But let's take another step forward in doing due diligence, because people say they did their due diligence and looked up certain things without diving in deeper. So instead of clicking individual, let's click firm. And shout out to Kareem again. Kareem, triple salute, because you dug a little deeper and then you put me onto it so I can dive a little deeper. And now I'm doing my duty by documenting, but also sharing it with you, because I feel this is important for BG Worth Sharing members to see, as well as the naysayers. And then you decide if you want to be a part of BG Worth Sharing or not. I get it. Either way is fine with me. Only time will tell. You just decide for yourself. If you want to join, there's a link down below that can allow you to do that. And you'll be able to get started seamlessly, get connected with me, and, we'll be good to go. If not, no big deal. If you're already a member, the bottom link gives you access to a system that I think you would like as well. But let's pick back where we left off. So let's click firm. It says firm name or CRD. We're going to go with the CRD number that was in the upper right hand corner. That's very important. That's an important distinction of if BG Worth Sharing has filed directly through this entity. So the CRD number was 338316. Search. And what do you see? We found one result, BG Worth Sharing Ltd. What do you know? It is listed right here. It has the CRD number right there, BG Worth Sharing Ltd, listed under this government website. Now, what some people will also do, well, before we get into that, I want you to also pay close attention to where it says disclosures. It says no disclosures. So we'll get into what the disclosures are. Now let's click on it to dive a little bit deeper. They'll also look and say, hey, not currently registered. I want you to point out something. It says not currently registered. But before we get to that, it says the advisor files reports as an exempt reporting advisor, ERRA, with the jurisdictions listed below. Registration status, not currently registered. Okay. Then it says notice filings. Investment advisor firms registered with the SEC may be required to provide the state securities authorities a copy of their Form ADV and any accompanying amendments filed with the SEC. These filings are called notice filings. Below are the states with which the firm you selected makes its notice filings. Also listed is the date the firm first became notice filed or registered in each state. Emphasis on the word or. So it's listed as an ERRA, exempt reporting advisor. So what is exempt reporting advisor and what are their responsibilities? It says exempt reporting advisors, ERRA, are investment advisors that are not required to register as investment advisors because they rely on certain exemptions from registration under sections 203I and 203M of the Investment Advisor Act of 1940 and related rules. Certain state securities regulatory authorities have similar exemptions based on state statutes or regulations. An ERRA is required to file a report using Form ADV, but does not complete all items contained in Form ADV that a registered advisor must complete. Other state securities regulatory authorities require an ERRA to register as an investment advisor and file a complete Form ADV. Below are regulators with which an ER report is filed. So they're not required to register because what they're leveraging is the ERRA ruling and the Advisors Act, basically Investment Advisor Act of 1940 and related rules. So they're not required to because they don't fall under a certain category. And right here it says who they file to, the SEC. Reporting status, ERRA, active. Effective date, August 15, 2025, which is what the document says. And they have two things listed here. Broker, a brokerage firm, also called a broker-dealer, is in the business of buying and selling securities, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, certain other investment products on behalf of its customers as a broker for its own bank, dealer, or both. Individuals who work for broker-dealers, the sales personnel, are commonly referred to as brokers. BG Worth Sharing is not a broker. They're not doing the things that I just read. They're listed as an investment advisor. An investment advisor is paid for providing advice about securities to clients. In addition, some investment advisors manage investment portfolios or offer financial planning services. So that's how BG Worth Sharing is listed. Now, remember I told you to pay attention to where it says no disclosure, just to keep it all the way clear. No disclosure represents that disclosures basically can be customer complaints or arbitrations, regulatory actions, employment terminations, bankruptcy filings, and certain civil or criminal proceedings that they were a part of. It's showing no disclosures, meaning that have not been any customer complaints that are in the system, arbitrations, regulatory actions, employment terminations, bankruptcies, and certain civil or criminal proceedings that
they were a part of. This is very important if it comes to doing due diligence. So now you heard it here first. It's up to you to share it with those you're connected to and the naysayers. This by far should be something that I think is a shareable. Now, it's up to the individual to decide if BG worth sharing is something they want to be a part of. This does not mean somebody may want to automatically be a part of BG worth sharing. I get it. However, what it does is take a deeper dive into exploring the registration or the document and showing how BG is listed. It does not have a requirement to be registered based on it being an ERRA, exempt reporting advisor. So BG worth sharing is listed as an investment advisor that does not require the typical registration. However, they are reporting and their status is active with no disclosures. So with that being said, share this with somebody who you feel may benefit. I'm not expert in this field, but when this was revealed to me, I had to do a little digging to find out if I came up with the same results, and then dive a little bit deeper to develop some understanding about how this works so that I can share it with you all. If you're considering BG wealth sharing and you are on the fence for various reasons, reconsider joining. If you heard about it organically through me, then it's a link down below for you to enroll in. I'll be happy to help you and assist you, get you connected to my network team, etc. Help you with the process so that you can have some guidance along the way. If you're already a part of BG Wealth Sharing, there's a link at the very bottom for you to consider using it. It'll give you a good system that you can use that can help you enroll people a little more seamlessly, and it has some cool perks that comes along with it. That's all I got. Mr. Smith, signing out. Salute.